Friends, I'm here to share with you a little bit on addressing the issues of poverty, which is the main theme of our conference. Of course, there are issues to do with the coronavirus pandemic, which we all know, and the question is what has changed, or possibly what we need to do to be able to overcome this. The coronavirus pandemic hit the world, I think, in 2019, 2020, and we had a lockdown in the year 2020, a very serious one, which brought out a number of things in our economy, in our country. What came out was, for those people who were in the countryside, they were not affected very much. Why? Because they produce for self-consumption. Indeed, they were affected because many of them could not sell their products in towns. So to that extent, in the countryside where 80% of our population lives, the coronavirus pandemic effect was limited. In the towns, this is where the biggest problem was. It is said that 20% of the population lives in urban areas. I think it's slightly more if you go into the upcountry. These trading centers that I imagine, we can call those urban areas. I could safely say that about 30% of our population is in urban areas. Now, out of that 30%, there was the small, possibly 1-2%, who didn't feel anything to do with the lockdown. I don't know whether you are part of that. Were you? There are people who never felt it. These are people who have the money. They stocked everything they wanted, and they continued. They had the passes to go out and buy things. I named those. You were locked up in your house. So these people were the poor. There are those who you see peddling goods on the roadside. Immediately, the lockdown was announced, they went home. And what did they do? They ate the capital. In 2-3 weeks, the money was gone, finished. And later on, the first flip came back to town. So we started seeing these hand-to-mouth people on the street. I believe our friends from the market will agree with me. That's why the president decided to say, those who are in the market, stay and sleep in the markets. Because you could not completely lock down an economy where there are people who buy things on a day-to-day basis. But who are these people? These are the poor people. So the poor people in this country are those who are in the countryside without an income. There are those in the urban areas without an income. Those in the countryside have something they do, but they produce for self-consumption. They don't produce to sell. A small component of what they produce is sold out to the excess is sold. So, and in urban areas, a large number of people, when you walk out on the street, you're going to find people seated doing nothing. These are the urban poor. So in understanding the poor people in this country and elsewhere, we could say they are the vulnerable people. They are the vulnerable people. They are the people who don't have an income. They are the people who don't have a voice Nobody is going to listen to them. They're the people who can't take children to school. They're the people who do not have enough to eat, or if they do have enough to eat, you're going to find somebody eating a huge portion of posho and beans. It may look like they're eating, but the value of what they're eating is very low. So the poor are those without incomes and those who are affected in terms of the standard of living. They have a low standard of living in the sense that they demand goods and services which are of a low value. So, if poverty means no income, what is the solution? What is the solution?